Hi, welcome to another edition of Wayne's World. Good to see you all again. So I've got a couple of things going on here today. One of them is from a band from the 70s, a classic rock band that is well regarded, had members that joined other well-respected bands that went on to continued success when these new members from this old band joined. It also arose from the ashes of another band that was popular in the 60s. That was the band The Small Faces. Small Faces was founded by Steve Marriott. Steve Marriott was the lead guitarist, one of the songwriters, as well as the lead vocalist of the band. They're well known in the US for one notable hit single, in the UK for more. They're also notable for Ogden Nut Flake, which is a terrific psychedelia album that's well worth picking up. It also had a deluxe edition. I might cover that in a future edition of this. But today we're talking about the band that arose from the ashes of the Small Faces, which ironically was still called the Small Faces when Steve Marriott left for that first album. That is a band called Faces. Faces was formed out of the ashes of, as I mentioned, Small Faces and members of the Jeff Beck group. Rod Stewart and Ron Wood left the Jeff Beck group, where they had joined that group respectively to be lead vocalist and bassist of that band. Beck really didn't want a second guitarist and he needed a bassist, so Wood switched over to bass. Even though he's a great dirty rock and roll player, he's not quite Jeff Beck, but he's still a great player. So he seemed rather redundant in the Jeff Beck group. When both of them left Jeff Beck group, of course, Stewart established a concurrent solo career, which would become a root of contention for some members of the Faces at the time. But when he joined the Faces, along with Ron Wood, it revitalized the band. They moved in more of a gritty rock and roll R&B direction for the band, and they produced 4 great albums and 1 live album. Rhino has issued a couple of box sets for the Faces. We'll go through them concurrently. The first one that was released was 5 Guys Walk Into a Bar. This set, which consists of 4 CDs, a booklet that has excellent annotation in it. It's got a great selection. It covers their entire discography for the actual studio albums that were released. They're not in the same order as those albums, though. It also has some rarities, some A-sides and B-sides, as well as some BBC sessions. Why is that important? Because if you have this set, there's some alternate mixes on it that are not on their albums proper, that were released 3 years ago in another box set for the Faces. That set consisted of their 4 studio albums and also 1 disc of A-sides and B-sides. However, it is missing the alternate versions of some of the tracks on this set. So you should keep this set even if you get the most recent release, which is why we're highlighting the Faces today, live at the BBC. This set consists of 8 discs recorded between 1970 and 1973 for John Peel, for Sounds of the 70s with Bob Harris, as well as an in-concert show that was not originally broadcast from 1973 and appears fully on disc, as far as I know, for the first time. If there's other Faces out there, if there's other Faces fans out there that want to correct me on that, I'm more than happy to hear it. So this set also has a Blu-ray. That Blu-ray has the sounds for Saturday, April 1st, 1972 show. This has all of the existing masters for the BBC concert series. The rest of them were either wiped or are lost to the mist of time. In other words, there's no vinyl that exists out there that they could go ahead and rip to put onto a master tape and do digital correction for to put in this set. So everything on this set is everything that survives. It's well worth picking up. I would also remind you to please keep the 5 Guys Walk Into a Bar set because of those alternate set mixes if you're a Faces fan. That covers the Faces. So now you have something you can put on your Christmas list. we're going to cover another band, this one from the 80s. This band has something in common with the Faces. This band originally had a different lead singer who ended up leaving the band. They recorded 3 albums and were moderately successful in the UK. They weren't successful in the US. That band recruited another member, Midgeorge, and they continued under the old name, which was Ultravox. Ultravox has a new release in their deluxe CD set release. This consists of 7 CDs and 1 DVD. It covers the album proper in its original mix, a Steve Wilson remix in stereo, as well as extended remix album, single mixes, B-sides, and rarities, as well as Movements, which was a CD that was released previously from a live show at Hammersmith in 1984. The DVD set itself includes Lament in various formats, and my only complaint is that it doesn't have the videos that were done for some of the songs on the set, because the band began directing their videos themselves, and they're quite interesting. So this is well worth taking a listen to. The set is in a book, somewhat actually. I should qualify. It's not in a book. It's actually in 2 cardboard slipcases, but there is a book inside one of the cardboard slipcases. There's this book, which has the lyrics, and then there's another book, which has photos. It also has in the first book, it has the story about the recording of the album. The second cardboard container, sorry, it was in there backwards, has all the discs. They're all in cardboard sleeves. What's kind of cool about this, and it will tie into our next band, is the striking black cover. Not all countries had it released like this, but as far as I know, that was the original intent. Some of them had a picture included on it. I believe it was Stonehenge, it was the picture. So it's rather interesting to see the history of various album covers and releases over the years. I'm glad to see this go back to the matte black cover like that. It's a very nice set. If you are addicted to Blu-ray, as I am, there is also, and want Atmos, there's also a separate release of the Atmos mix done by Steve Wilson. This set was part of the SDE, that Super Deluxe Edition Surround Series. The Super Deluxe Edition website is well worth checking out because they've done a number of these pure audio Blu-ray releases in high fidelity. They've done ABC, Tears for Fears, Thin Lizzy, a number of bands that are really worth checking out. Wanted to highlight that this set has, of course, a nice booklet in it that has all the lyrics, as well as, of course, the Blu-ray disc in here that has a replica of the album cover. It's kind of nice. This set has the Atmos, as I mentioned, in 5.1 mix. If you're an absolute completist, which most fans are, you may want this. If you're not a completist and don't have Blu-ray, the DVD set shall suffice. Tying into that is another release that happened. This happened a couple months back. This band from the late 70s, early 80s, actually through the 80s, released their concert film, again to theaters in IMAX, to popular acclaim. It's Talking Heads, and that concert film, directed by Jonathan Demme, one of my favorite film directors. I was privileged enough to attend one of the shows. I don't know if any of the performances ended up in the show, from the show I attended in the film, but it was an electrifying show, amazing show. And the film really does justice to capturing the show that I saw. This set is a Blu-ray audio, not the movie, of the set list that they played there. It's the entire set list. It's mixed in Atmos, and Also, Blu-ray stereo. It also has two CD set. I'm sorry, two CD discs that you can see in the center there.